We're going to get started here in the room.
Hacemos todo en español. ¿Sí? See, I speak Spanish to him and he speaks English back.
Yeah. Okay, we're here with head coach Phil Neville. We'll get started with questions in the room. Jeremy, you want to start us off?
Cole Bassett, he trained in full on Tuesday, but he wasn't out there today. What's his status ahead of this game?
He's trained really well this week. Last week when we got to this day, he came out and trained and just felt something a little bit. So it was more a precaution today in terms of pushing him through. He's had some like 3 or 4 days really good work. So we'll see how he is in the morning. Today was more of a recovery day. Diego only took part in half the session, which is normal for him. So I think apart from that, Juan Mosquera is the only player that probably is out of the game on Saturday.
Jeremy, can you give another?
Yeah, sure. Against a team like LAFC, who are very, very good in transition, I'm wondering how the team is planning to both protect their own box and be more incisive in LAFC's box.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're a team that's not conceded any goals this season, so I think, and they don't give away many chances. So in terms of our attacking play, I think we're going to have to be really, really, really good in our attacking play, our attacking movements, in our attacking control. I think whenever you play against LAFC or a team like LAFC with the qualities that they've got, I think you're always at your most dangerous when you've got possession of the ball, because that's when they can spring on the counter-attack. You saw against Cruz Azul last week in midweek in the Champions Trophy is that Cruz Azul was probably in control of the game in terms of possession, and then they find themselves 2-0 down, and that's what they can do because they've got such special players in the front three. So what I would say is it's more about what we do, how we control the game, our qualities on the ball. The games against, I'd say, both LA teams create an incredible atmosphere at Providence Park, and I think what you've seen over the last 2 or 3 years, particularly since I've been here, I'm not sure what the results were like before I came here, but there's always incredible performances from the attacking players on the field. I think last year was 3-3. I watched the game last night. It was an incredible game of football in terms of high-level attacking play, high-level intensity, and I think that the game on Saturday will be no different. They're a quality team, but I honestly believe that we are equally just as good. We've got equally just as good as players, and now we need to deliver.
Phil, you've obviously been a part of some really great defenses at Everton and Manchester United. When you were in game 3, 4, 5, or 6 of these clean sheet streaks, what were they like in preparation? What were they like in the game? Did you get so much more confidence from going so many minutes and hours without conceding?
Well, it breeds a lot of confidence. And what I always think about keeping clean sheets, it doesn't just give the defence, because the defence become a little bit of a... You become like a little unit that pride themselves on that statistic, but it gives a great foundation for the team, and I think it's something that we obviously need to improve on. We need to give foundation to the team, because I think goal scoring has not been a problem for us. I think we can score goals. I think giving the team the foundation to go and win games of football, not having to score 3 goals to win a game of football, I think is massive, and I think they obviously have a back four that's been pretty consistent over the last 2 or 3 seasons. You can put one guy, Segura plays left back or Hollinshead plays left back. They brought Patias in. I think Patias a centre back in, who I think has been a really good signing for them. But they've had real consistency in that back line and goalkeeper. And I think when you talk about consistency, I think that's really important for a back four and a goalkeeper.
When you guys played Denny Bouanga last year, you had a lot of success with Mosquera and Finn, sort of doubling him at times in that 3 at the back formation. Let's say you play a 4. How is it different defending Denny this time around?
Well, I mean, at home we played 4-2-3-1 at home. We did go to a 3-4-3 away from home. 2 systems that I thought worked really well. I think when you're playing against the best players, it's not about the system. I think it's about the mentality. I think it's about when we've got possession of the ball, keep possession of the ball. Make sure that when we've got possession of the ball, that's when our defending starts. I was taught very early on is that your defending starts as a centre back when you've got possession of the ball. Where's the danger? Smell the danger. Stop the counter attack. Sustain the attack. So I think that's a big work on area that we've been working on. And I've got confidence in the players at the back to deal with the problems that we're gonna face. It's an incredible challenge. I was thinking about Alex Bonateg, about the baptism of fire that he's had since he's come to the MLS, and he's done incredibly well. You know, you got Thomas Muller, Brian White. Now you got Boanga and Son. Next week it's Yeboah. The week after, you're talking quality strikers every week. And so that's why we invested in him. That's why he came to this league, to take the next step up. And we've seen with Finn how he's risen to every challenge, and Alex Bonateg needs to do the same.
Speaking of quality strikers, Kevin Kelsey, he started the past 2 matches. Just what have you been seeing from him in training and in games so far this year, even though he hasn't scored a goal yet?
Yeah, well, I think his training performances the last 3 weeks have been the best it's been since he's came to this club. He started the last 2 games, but I'd say that we had to sub him after 20 minutes against Galaxy because of the red cards. So I think probably you could scrub that game off. We want to get consistency in team selection. We want to put the best players in the best positions to perform. And what we've really been saying to Kevin is consistency every day on the training field will lead to better consistencies on the field. And I think he had a great chance in Vancouver. He got himself into a great position, probably should have scored. Now, it's a positive for Kevin that he's getting himself in those positions. That's what we're seeing on the training field. He's scoring more on the training field. He's being more consistent on the training field. And we need that now transferring not just from Kevin, but from the whole group onto the field now.
Profe, buenos días. No hay muchos hoy.
Good morning.
No. La pregunta sería sobre la afición. La afición le dolió la derrota, obviamente, de la semana pasada. Y van a enfrentar un equipo como es el LAFC. Está preocupada. ¿Cuál sería el mensaje de usted para todos los aficionados que van a ver este partido el domingo? El sábado, perdón.
Sí, yo entiendo todas las frustraciones con nuestra afición, porque yo tengo las mismas frustraciones, porque no ganamos muchos partidos, no empezamos la temporada que quise. Entonces, no me preocupa mucho en mi vida, solo mi familia. Pero en este momento yo solo quiero los aficionados el sábado viene al estadio para apoyar a mis jugadores. Solo eso. Porque tenemos muchos jugadores jóvenes. En este momento sufrimos mucho con los derrotas, con las decisiones, con los árbitros, con todos. Entonces, en este momento, necesitamos un club juntos. Necesitamos una afición siempre 100% con los jugadores en el campo. Y en mi vida, en los momentos difíciles, en los momentos cuando es difícil para ver una victoria, ese momento con los mejores equipos, con los mejores jugadores, eso es el tiempo para crecer, para entregar, para hacer cosas buenas. Entonces yo estoy muy feliz con mi equipo, con la mentalidad. En ese momento, en los momentos difíciles, ahora es el tiempo para crecer, para entregar. Entonces yo estoy feliz con este reto. Este reto es muy grande. Los retos más grandes, para mí, la mejor situación para mí y para mis jugadores.
Okay, we're going to take a question online real quick.
No, who is it?
Aaron, go ahead. Aaron Heinzen.
Hey, Phil.
Aaron, how are you doing?
Yes, the volume. Good, thanks.
I'm glad we've got you because you normally don't register, do we? That's a nervous laugh, wasn't it? Right, Aaron, let's go.
Okay, Phil, question about when you guys are defending, you're talking about the most dangerous times when you guys receive the ball. So if you take it off of LAFC and you're coming out of your defensive third, what's kind of your instruction to the team to break out of there to kind of turn the tide against LAFC?
Well, I mean, we've spoke about Boanga, Martinez, Ordaz, or Son, but you know, in Velda, Kelsey, Anthony, Da Costa, Lassiter, Aravinha, we've got equally players with the same speed that can be equally as dangerous on the counter-attack. I think the one thing that's really disappointed me, we've not really punished teams on the counter-attack this season. I think against Columbus we did. I think since then our counter-attack play has been sloppy, and so we've been working really hard on the quality of the final pass. The decision-making in the final pass has been crucial to us having success. And like I say, I think the problems that we can cause them, they'll be thinking about our counter-attack, and we're probably thinking about their counter-attack. We're probably very similar in the way that we play, in terms of we're both very momentum. We have moments in games when a special player can deliver, and I'd say that at this moment in time, we need to make our moments count more, and we need to make sure that we stop their moments. Their moments when you lose the ball, turn it over, one passing behind, and we've seen it. It happens. We need to make sure that when we've got possession of the ball, our structure of the team, both in and out of possession, is elite, and that's the big challenge on Saturday.
We need to take one more question in the room for Enrique, if that's okay.
Prometo, nomás. Es que es interesante. El partido contra jugaron el pasado fin de semana contra un equipo como Vancouver, se vio un buen equipo. ¿Y qué es lo que ha faltado para que se logren los resultados a su punto de vista?
Victor, there's the last bit I didn't quite understand.
What do you think is needed to get the results from your point of view?
Yeah, I think es una pregunta muy buena, porque quedan 4 minutos para una victoria muy especial en un estadio difícil, en un campo muy mal, contra un equipo, para mí, uno de los mejores equipos en la conferencia. Después del partido, cuando hay muchas emociones contra todo, contra el resultado, contra las expectaciones, con el árbitro, con todos, mi opinión fue, tenemos un equipo que quiere hacer cosas buenas siempre. En este momento, ellos están intentando todo para ganar, para hacer una victoria. Entonces, para mí, en este momento necesitamos calma más, porque ellos quieren ganar. Ellos quieren ganar más que los aficionados, más que todos. En este momento, he visto en los ojos después del partido, no frustraciones, es decepcionante, muy decepcionante. Es almost como mi hijo cuando era joven, es no lo sé la palabra, pero desesperación para ganar. Con esta sensación, a veces no ganar con este sentimiento, porque desesperación no es bueno para un equipo, pero cuando tiene un equipo muy joven, desesperación para impresionar, para ganar, para hacer cosas, es normal. Entonces, mis palabras esta semana es calma. La victoria vamos a hacer cuando calma. Mi opinión, o estoy feliz con la desesperación, porque mostramos que ellos, they care. No lo sé la palabra. Es importa. They care. They want to win. Entonces es un buen sentimiento. Yeah, es bueno, pero en los momentos cuando hay mucha presión, cuando la presión es mucho, necesitamos calma. Eso es muy importante en tu vida, en nuestra vida. En los momentos cuando hay mucha presión, necesitamos neutral. Porque demasiados aquí es fatal. Demasiados aquí, más fatal. Entonces, esta semana disfrutamos muchos entrenamientos, tenemos mucha calma, y estamos muy felices con el partido contra los mejores jugadores del equipo en el MLS para entregar.